As far back as I can remember, I dreamt of a normal life. A life filled with normal things. A life where monsters don't live in closets or under the bed. A life where ghosts aren't real. I just wanted to be normal. But that didn't happen. It wasn't meant to be. Since my early 20s, I have experienced profound paranormal events that would change my life. Extreme poltergeist activity, living amongst those that have departed this earth in ways unimaginable. It has affected my loved ones and children with no end in sight. I could hear things, see things, and feel things not of this world. I asked myself if this was a gift or a curse. With the help of my mother and close friends, I emerged a paranormal investigator. Since 2013, I have been on a relentless journey to learn about the paranormal. This is my time to share my journey with you. Welcome to my Paranormal Soapbox. Hello and welcome to my Paranormal Soapbox. I'm your friendly neighborhood ghost hunter, Justin Brown, and I am presenting episode 88, and we will be discussing portals. Yes, you heard me, portals. Everybody's got one. They're everywhere. They're what make the TV shows, clickbaity. It's the next best thing to, get you excited about the supernatural, right? So we're going to talk about portals. Are they real? What's going on? Why do we use the term portals? Where does it come from? We're going to talk about all that. Thank you for joining me tonight. I see a whole bunch of people chiming in already. We have Valerie Wright and Missy Vastine helping out with chat. Jessica's doing the softball thing with Emma tonight, so we got Valerie once again. Are you girls ready to talk about some portals?
We are ready.
We are ready.
Okay. I hope you out there in Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch land are ready to talk about portals, because it's something that I have researched, believe it or not, over the years. I've looked into. It's a word that you hear a lot. Oh my God. This is really frustrating to me. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. I don't know how to fix this. It seems like it's a problem. It seems like it's a problem that I'm going to have to figure out at some point, folks. I'm going to have to be doing some test streams. I thought it was just from the Necromancer show, but it seems like it's going to be an ongoing problem. What shall I do? Let's see if I can remove my microphone really quick and add it again and see if it'll fix it. I doubt it. I really do. But I will give it a try. It's worth a try. Okay, USB mic. We're going to get... Okay, it doesn't have any filters on it whatsoever. We'll put some filters on it. It's probably not fixed it at all. It's probably software issues. But I'm going to try. Let me know if I'm still popping, guys, as I'm adding all this stuff back into it. Let's see here. We can put a band on here. Move that there. Move that down to there. Kind of move that up here. I guess that's fine. Still doing it. There's not anything I'm going to be able to do about it right now, guys. I should have did some tests before I went live this week when I found out I was doing it on Necromancer. So we're probably going to lose some viewers. They're not going to want to listen to or audio stream, and I don't blame them. But we're going to have to continue with the stream. So Portals is something that a lot of people believe in, and we're going to talk about why. The question posed on the show tonight: are portals real? Well, it really depends on who you ask and what they believe. Is your mic cable anywhere near your Ethernet cable? Um, no, it's plugged into the computer. It's ran through the desk, and the Ethernet cables run out of the modem into it, and it's been ran the same way. So I didn't change how I ran it, Joe. So I'll have to troubleshoot it some other time. Portals are something that comes up in mythology. It's something that comes up in the occult, and let's just face it, it comes up when you talk about stories, fantasy, stuff like that, and it also comes up when you look into a lot of science fields and theories when it comes when you talk about wormholes and black holes and stuff like that. So a lot of people in the paranormal have tried to use the ideas from science to explain phenomena in the paranormal that they believe that portals are a part of. So I really don't see any applicability that anything that wormholes have with what we are dealing with in the paranormal. The reason that is, wormholes are a theoretical thing that we really haven't observed yet, and the math and the phenomena surrounding what wormholes are involve a lot of energy and a lot of radiation that is very, very bad for us humans and our tissues. So we would not survive. We could not survive around any type of gamma radiation or the gravity fields or the energy in general around such phenomena like that. So we can pretty much rule that out. There are microscopic black holes that are created in particle accelerators, but we can't assume that there's portals inside of those. But you can theorize that there are. The portals that you see in fantasy and stories and mythology and stuff like that are interesting. A lot of esoteric beliefs believe that there's gateways, entryways from our world to another realm, whether it be another dimension, another time. I've toyed around with the idea that portals do exist somehow, somewhere, but we never really observe them as the definition defines them. You don't really see a doorway or a gateway until you start talking about near-death experiences. Now, if you've looked into those things, there's a lot of people that do report seeing a tunnel with the light at the end of it. And to me, that's a portal. You're going down a portal. They're experiencing and reporting going through a portal. And a lot of people believe that, your spirit, your soul is using this portal to cross over into the next realm. So I believe if there's any good use and belief of the term portal, that would be the best one that I know. If you have any other ones that I haven't talked about, I definitely want to hear about them. I definitely want to talk about it. But a lot of people believe that portals, ghosts use them, spirits use them, and interdimensional beings use them, which is possible. Or if wormholes are a thing, aliens can, and their spaceships can use them for transit and for space travel. But I want to really talk about the term used when you're talking about hauntings and you're talking about why places are hot spots for paranormal activity. And I think the term portal is overused. I think it's something that people use in place of something they don't really understand. We tend, as paranormal, peeps and ghost hunters and enthusiasts out there, we try to not use terms that are really have no basis in objective reality, but we find ourselves not doing it very well. We use these terms to, explain ideas or theories about something that might be, but we really don't have evidence for. I know a lot of people over the years have, went out and tried to take or have taken environmental readings looking for geomagnetic readings, disturbances in the magnetic field that the Earth already has and emanates. There's a lot of anomalies out there when it comes to magnetic fields, and there's a lot of things that people think about when it comes to other environmental anomalies and factors that might theoretically or hypothetically correlate or involve some type of gateway. So, you start thinking of stuff like the Philadelphia experiment, where they generated a high enough electromagnetic field and that opened up a portal in space and time, and they got sucked through, and when they came back, sailors on the deck were embedded in the hull, and it was like a really terrible thing. So, you do evoke, that type of conspiracy and those type of stories when you talk about such anomalies in magnetic fields. But I just don't see how our dimension mixing with another dimension that we call the spirit realm involves portals. I think there's much more practical and logical things to think about. And when you start looking into theoretical theories in science that involve different dimensions, you start to realize that other dimensions can bump up next to or coexist with ours. So I want one of the takeaways for this video to be that portals should be not used unless there's at least some shred of supporting evidence to indicate that there is some type of gateway. Now, there's pockets of energy, there's anomalous energy that you can pick up, but does that indicate a portal? I don't think so yet. There are things that we need to do, just take some steps back and just try to, in my opinion, try not to use the term as much. I know you hear it on TV shows all the time. I've even used the term in some of our YouTube seasons titles, because it does sound cool and it sounds intriguing to talk about it. But, when you go into a client's location, I really don't advocate the use of the word portal to a client in this show. I think that should be a takeaway. I think it's okay to talk about and theorize with your friends, with your paranormal teammates on shows like this. That's fine. But telling someone, like a client, that there's a portal at their house, that demons come through or ghosts come through or whatever, is something that you cannot prove, and there's really no supporting evidence of it. Now, I know there's a lot of cultists, a lot of metaphysicists out there that claim that they know for sure what's going on at locations, and that's on them. But if you're trying to be objective, if you're trying to just give information to clients, to business owners about what you can actually observe and what you can actually capture and gather as far as evidence, as far as data, there's no data to support the existence of portals yet that I have seen. And if I am wrong, if you think I'm wrong and you have something for me, I want to see it ASAP. And I think it's a cool subject to talk about. I want to know what you guys think about portals. Do you think you've ever experienced a quote-unquote portal? Let me know what you guys have to say about it. We can go to some shout-outs here real quick and get the party started.
Right. I have Derek, I have Becky, I have Sandy, I have Laura, I have Gilson, Bill, Andrew, Eddie, Troy, Sandy H, Matthew, Fiole, Connor, Biddle, Josh Bender, Brent, Nelson, Philip, and Daryl. And on RU Media, I have Ernie and Vicky.
I see Dave Wolliver there as well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, folks. Please feel free to share. Please engage and comment and give us your thoughts. We definitely want to have an open dialogue about this. This is what this show is about. And let's see who's joining us on the YouTube.
On YouTube, we've got Gateway Paranormal, Truth Paranormal, Randy, Scotty, Exposing Reality, Sam, Betty, Buster. Let's see. I'm just scrolling here. We got Ron, Randy, Ron. Oh, I already said Ron. Scotty. And I think that's it. Supernatural Lost Adventures.
Who's got the volume up on the show?
Not me.
Can you hear the show playback on your end, Valerie?
Yeah.
Can you turn it down for me? I'm hearing it looping through your microphone.
Oh.
Jeff Taflin just joined on our YouTube.
What's up, Jeff? I am doing fine. How are you, sir? Philip Wyatt has a comment there.
Why can't a portal be a spot in the environment that contains the perfect storm to allow an opening to the unseen world, and we haven't inverted the tech to measure what the portal is?
I'm not saying that can't be possible, but what evidence other than our imaginations and our just, guesses, what other evidence is there that we have to make such a claim? And that's why I want to talk about, Philip. I don't necessarily see the coexistence of two different dimensions as a portal, but I definitely could be wrong. I mean, we can maybe talk about redefining what a portal is during this time. I look at it as, it's an opening or a gateway or some type of thing that allows you to traverse from this dimension or this realm to somewhere else. And if that involves your idea of what a portal is, and if you think that, let's go back over what you said again. A spot in the environment that contains the perfect storm. So what is the perfect storm? Is it like, maybe you need to elaborate on that? Opening to the unseen world. Like, what is that perfect storm? Give me some examples of what that is. Go ahead with Matthew there.
He said at Wilden Manor, I've narrowed down a peak, so to speak, of paranormal activity in the back hallway within an hour. We have been there a whole lot, and I've put it to the test. That's the closest thing to a portal that I've witnessed.
What about the activity, the spike in activity that makes you believe that it's a portal? Because you can say that in this spot in the woods, deer come to feed every 3 p.m. because it's rich in resources. That's not a portal.
Who was that? Brent.
Or is it?
He said, what if portals and intersect points of lines go hand in hand? Just an idea.
Intersecting lines and portals. Now, you can look at intersecting lines like intersecting corridors, intersecting lines, like intersecting dimensions. A lot of the esoteric beliefs and the old school beliefs believe that there are planes of existence that coexist, they overlap. And I believe that is what we experience a lot, because it looks like how that is defined shares a similarity, because sometimes some things phase in, you experience some things, you might see a ghost. If it's existing on this plane and another plane, you can see how it's feasible to, kind of work out that it's both here and both there. But, there's really no evidence of that either. So this is almost like a think tank, if you will, of what, how we're going to define portals, how everybody that's watching this show uses the term portal.
He also had a question. He said, Philip says, some clients say there are specific areas in their house where the activity happens most. Is that a portal?
I don't know. If we find that there is an opening into another realm where they come from, then I would say yes. But is it an opening? That's the question. Do we just assume that there's an opening, or do we try to find more evidence that supports the idea that it's an actual portal? Because I'm thinking of this rift, this dimensional rift in our reality into somewhere else. I'm thinking of this opening, this passageway into there. Closets, for example. A lot of people have reported over time that ghosts, monsters, what have you, they use closets, and there's portals inside closets. I mean, who hasn't felt or experienced anything in a closet at some point in their life? There's a lot of people who have. Are closets portals? Like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I think I said that right.
Matthew Fioli said, I didn't say that I think it's a portal. I'm saying if there was a portal, that would be the closest thing to one that I know of.
That's where you would look for a portal.
Or have experienced activity with our equipment that goes nuts within that hour, and it could 100% be something environmentally.
So that's where you would look for one. Like, so how would you go about looking for a portal? Like, no, that would be my question. Since we can't prove ghosts are real, we can prove portals are real. The movie Poltergeist has made the world portal popular in the paranormal community. Yeah, that movie has definitely helped, but they didn't come up with it. They just helped the popularity of it because they had a pretty bona fide portal in that movie. Like, you saw it. But does any psychics or any seers out there actually see a portal like that?
Vicky, which brings me to this comment. Vicky on RU Media said, yes, I have in Oregon. We have many, I know. Amy Allen has visited a few in Dead Files with lots of conversation about portals and elementals.
So Amy Allen has seen portals, like openings or rifts or whatever.
I think what she sees are rifts.
You think so? So maybe she can clarify if that's what she and Amy had spoke about. Yeah, we can't prove ghosts are real. We can't prove portals are real, but we can, when we use these terms, what I'm doing right now is challenging not only the existence of portals, but how we use the term and why. That's what I'm doing right now.
Valerie has a question on YouTube.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
Let's see. I can find it now. Oh, let's see. Supernatural Lost Adventures once. This is for Justin. What do you think of the Bel Air house? Sure, you've heard of the claims. LOL.
Yeah, I've visited the Bel Air house. Thanks for the donation, Spirit Stalker. I mean, you have really helped out with the donations on this show. We really appreciate it. Yeah, the Bel Air house. The words ley lines came up to me by Kristen Lee when I was there. And she asked me if she believed if there was a portal there, and I told her that the energy where I felt, if there's going to be a portal, and I will go over some places where I believe that if portals exist, where would they be? Kind of like where Matt Fioli suggested and Philip and some others are suggesting. If you go to a location and you definitely feel anomalous things there, it could be just a strange vibe. It could be something that sets off your alarms, your psychic alarms, or something. It can be sensations on the skin. It can be an emotion. It could be whatever. But, your spidey senses are tingling there, right? So what I was experiencing there at Bel Air House was I had walked up the stairs and walked down the hall, and that bedroom at the end of the hall, I walked to the window and I felt compelled to look out the window, and I was just standing there almost in a daze doing it, and I didn't want to look away. I felt like something was trying to tell me something, or I was trying to get some type of cryptic message about that. And Kristen had noticed me doing that, and she asked me, she could tell that I was being affected by something, and if I knew what it was, and I told her that no, I didn't know. But I found it interesting that not only did I feel it there, I felt it one level up in the attic where that little window is facing out to the little alley where that same window a floor below faces. And that happens to be on the first floor. That happens to be the entry room when you come in where that round table is. So there's a theory that I'm trying to work on that suggests that if there is a pocket of energy in homes, let's just say at the top of stairs, for example, there's a lot of reports of not only the stairs being active, but the very top. It usually goes up and down. You'll get a lot of phenomena that happens up and down. So you have to wonder, is there some type of gateway here? So, what I do now is I'm very careful about telling clients that, because I really don't know if it is a gateway. Maybe it's just a spot that the phenomenon emerges from for another reason. Maybe they're not coming from somewhere else. Maybe they're already in the environment, but it's being triggered. So I'm issuing a warning or challenging the definition or the interpretation or perception of what a portal is and where it could be in relation to paranormal phenomena.
I have a few questions. Oh, go ahead.
We entered through that alley, and neither of us felt anything in the alley.
I didn't. No, I didn't feel anything until I got upstairs.
Right. Go ahead, Val.
Randy wants to know, what about ley lines?
That's definitely relevant to the conversation, because that's what Kristen had asked me about, or she reported to me about ley lines. And if ley lines are a thing, and they very well could be, that could be where it's kind of similar to how the chakras in the body, their energy vortexes. There could be something like that with the earth, to where there's energy vortices that align on the earth between different sites. And I do not understand how that works, how these vortices align with the sites. I guess maybe subconsciously or intuitively, humans and people that build things build them at these places. Or maybe people that can connect with those things can build things at these places. I'm not sure about that. But that would be a place where I would look for portals, for openings. I would definitely try to see them. I would definitely try to bring people there that claim to see them and try to find evidence that there's stuff happening there. But what constitutes as a portal? I mean, just ghosts showing up there, is that enough for most paranormal people to, say that there's a portal there? I'm asking you folks.
Scotty asks that around that same question. How can we scientifically detect a portal? EMFs, radiation, ultrasonics?
Well, you can look for anomalous environmental stuff, but that doesn't, irrefutably prove that there's a portal. The only way I could think of is that you actually see something open up, and you can see things going in and out of it, and you can document it. It's not just with your eyes, you can record it. Or, maybe you can record something going in one location and going out the other, kind of like the movie Poltergeist, like Philip said.
And then Scotty also asked, what is the difference between a wormhole to a portal, if any?
A wormhole is probably the best example of a portal, that we can theorize about. The only difference is in theoretical physics, they don't claim that ghosts and beings use it for travel. That would be the only difference I could think of.
And then Travis asked, how did the claim of portals become so popular?
It's a cultural thing. There's a lot of esoteric beliefs and ancient beliefs that portals used to exist. It used to be in in the religions that in a lot of it stems from paganism before it's pre-Christian, but there's a lot of things that Christianity and other similar religions drew from those cultures and those beliefs. So just look at all the oldest texts, just read back and study and research. You're going to see references to portals. I would be interested if anybody knows any biblical references to portals. Um, I'm trying to think of some, but I'm definitely not that well enough versed in the Bible to know to state Bible verses. But if you know, let me know, please. Um, so yeah, it goes really, really far back. Probably as far back as when people start telling stories and start thinking of things like that. I can Google it. I'm interested in seeing what Google says about that. When did the idea of I'll call it, magical portals begin? What we got there with Jared?
He said, I've heard so many times on investigations that when two mirrors are facing each other, it creates a portal. However,
Mhm.
I could never substantiate this, even though the others swear by it.
Yes, that's definitely a part of the culture and part of the lore that I'm talking about, and I'm glad that you brought it up. Mirrors were believed to be portals to the afterlife. That's why they used to cover the mirrors, and they used to have silver backing. All the mirrors back in the day used to have silver backing, and they believed that was a gateway or a portal rather to you know the to the other side, and they covered up the mirrors so the dead wouldn't get trapped in there because it was kind of a maybe not a portal to the other side, but portals to like a parallel dimension. I'll make sure that I got that right, but to when I googled the first references to portals in ancient Greece, the gods lived up on a mountain, and Hades seemed to have been a place that you could sail to. Personally, I think in modern times, the concept of a portal or wormhole is so familiar, we tend to retroactively assign it to presence, even when not described. Obviously, you can't just walk to Mount Olympus, so you must pass through some kind of transition from the real to the supernatural. That transition is some kind of gateway that, even if left undescribed by the people writing the original myths, we assume to be something like a portal. It doesn't seem to me that, though, that there's evidence that of any of the writers of myths were thinking of portals like we do. It seemed more that Olympus was hard to find, but you could just walk there if given the right path. Their concept of what was unreachable was based more on an unexplored lands beyond their maps that was based on the notion of planes of existence. Even Dorothy was blown by a tornado to Oz, so maybe it's a place for far off over the horizon. And it goes on to read. So that's food for thought. Um, what else was I going to look into? Help me out, girls. All the mirrors.
The mirrors.
Okay, what did people believe? You can go ahead. There's a lot of good comments I see going in there. You feel free to read them, please. Don't all start at once.
Scotty says mirrors were believed to reveal spirits on site with the silver as the means. Truth Paranormal says, I've spent time in the Devil's Play box, toy box. That sounds like an adult videotape, but a videotape of beings, LOL. It's a box with mirrors. Never experienced anything.
Philip Wyatt said, I believe the energy vortex is Earth energy related and could aid in creating a portal if the energy theories about ghosts are true.
Was that a question? That
No.
wasn't a question. Okay.
No.
Okay. The answer that I got on this website is the Kabbalists give a more spooky reason for covering mirrors in a house of mourning. They write that all types of evil spirits and demons come to visit a family in mourning. So that's a reason to cover mirrors. And it seems like there's other beliefs that the dead would wander off into the mirrors and get trapped there and not make it to where they needed to go. So depending on what culture you're from, would lend you to believe different things.
Philip,
Interesting. That's all interesting.
sorry. Philip said, I read two mirrors facing create an infinite repeating reality since things appear backwards in a mirror, which is an interesting theory.
Yeah, if you can definitely cause things to loop visually using a mirror. A lot of paranormalists have stuck a camera at a mirror to cause a feedback loop, and you can just use two mirrors, like you said, facing each other to cause a visual feedback loop, and it'll go on for infinity. But is that just an optical illusion, or does that actually mean that there is, what you suggest that there is? I'm not sure about that. I'm open-minded about anything, though, because let's just face it, there's weird stuff going on out there, right, folks? That's what fuels shows like this.
Gina asked, are all portals alike, or are there different kinds?
I would say that there's different kinds of everything. I've said that once or twice on this show. If I were to guess, I would say yes. There's different types of portals that we have now.
Well, there's different types of energy, so you would figure the portal would be the same thing.
Yeah, I just think that it's safe to assume that there is, if such a thing exists, yes. If you want me to elaborate, please say elaborate, and I could use my imagination. Or
elaborate.
You want me to elaborate? For example, you could have a portal that's either one way or two way. That would be a variation. There could be, like, say that there's a portal in a location, only spirits or entities can use it to travel from where they're at to where we're at. Nothing can use it to go back. And it can be two-way, like I suggested. It could be something like it takes you to a predestined area every time you use it, or there might be portals that take you to random spot or different spots depending on the time of day or certain environmental parameters. I don't know. That could be a difference in a portal. It could be kind of like what Missy said, the energy types involved to give rise to such portals can be different. It could be magnetic. It can be it could be radiation. It could be electromagnetic. It could be electrical. It can be spatial. It can be dimensional.
Truth Paranormal has a comment here. He said that he does have a black mirror Ouija board, and there have been some interesting things that happen with it, but a lot of it is just tapping sounds.
Tapping sounds. Doesn't sound very eventful. Philip says he's done video loop back ITC with some results. Yeah, the reason I don't do that is it could definitely be pareidolia, but I know Philip is not a fan of that explanation. What's up, D. Wookie on Periscope? I see you there. You think the Bigfoots come through portals? I've definitely heard about that theory, and I've definitely heard about Bigfoot being interdimensional and that they use doorways to get from here to there. Is it possible? Yes. But I couldn't tell you if I believe it. I've never seen a Bigfoot. I'm the wrong person to ask about that, but I would definitely tell you that it's possible.
Derek Schreiner said, I think a lot of times the term portal is misused to describe an area of swirling energy of unexplained origin.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I alluded to. It misused or overused, either one of those things. And I just want to put the thought in your head, is that when I say portal, Do I know it's a portal? Is it just based on my beliefs, or is it based on what I have investigated and found? Is it based on what other people has believed or whatever people teaches about the history, about the lore of a location? All those things matter to me, and I hope they would matter to you folks. I'm just trying to get really down and dirty and nuts and bolts with this stuff. I really want to try to objectify everything as much as possible, which is something that's very, very hard to do when you're talking about such things. Greg says mirrors, doors, walls are all used as viewing areas. That's scary. That's real scary. Joe says, just sounds like something is tapping on the glass. Sometimes you can hear a lady talking. Now we're talking. Now a lady's talking. Chris says, saw something weird like a Bigfoot or a juvenile, Bigfoot maybe. That would be crazy to see. Anything else going on that I have not seen?
Nope.
Oh,
not
Becky.
here.
Becky chimed in.
Becky's on.
What does Becky have to say about the mirrors?
Let's see. Becky says the mirror thing. There was a serial killer that covered mirrors before he killed because he thought it would recorded it. Oh wow,
that's another belief I've forgotten about, but that just reminded me. That's creepy. That's super creepy to me.
I've never heard of that. That's really creepy.
Yeah, I've heard of serial killers shattering the mirrors. You see that in movies too. We got John Ward in the house. Chris Masters says the thing wasn't as tall as me, but stayed in the shadows. Of course it would, right? And it was quick. I can go the rest of my life without seeing anything like that close to me. It's fine if it's far away and it doesn't know that I'm there. I don't want anything like that near me, because if it decides to, overpower me, I'm sure it could. I'm good. Oldham County, Kentucky.
I think that's supposed to be one word, and he just typed it as two.
Okay. We'll see. Yep. LaGrange. It's near Louisville.
Shannon Humphrey's team is Oldham County Paranormal.
Ooh. That's how Missy knows.
Yep. They ordered lights off Joshua.
Well, the first time I met her was at Waverly.
Yep.
It definitely looks like a wooded area. And there's definitely hills and foothills from the Appalachian Mountains there. Uh-oh. Mirrors that have witnessed murders. I think the serial killer thought it would trap his victims' souls. That would be something that you think that they would want to happen. I don't know. I'm just thinking of the most creepiest thing possible.
Or maybe they don't want to see themselves killing people.
That's possible. What do you girls think about portals? What's your belief? Do you think they exist? We might as well get your opinions.
Well, yeah, I do. I believe in portals. How they exist or how they form, I don't know. Theoretically, I would think it would have to do with a lot of our natural resources. Anything with a magnetic energy field, anything that has to do with like silver, gold, water, perhaps, or a certain type of stone.
Everything's like magnetic.
Yeah.
EMF does everything.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I do. I believe.
Okay. Missy.
Yeah, why not? I don't think. Well, how would you describe how they get from one dimension to the other?
That's the thing. You know, they could use a portal, but do they? I mean, you know, it's just ideas, right?
Right.
Like, why do you believe that? You know, how strong is your belief? That, you know, that's why I'm kind of challenging everybody's like, how do you come to these? Do you just like you take it from your culture, you take it from the stories and the movies that you've seen, and just say, must be a portal?
Because your
Or
mom, Justin.
my mom?
Yeah,
My mom actually doesn't like the use of the term portal.
I know. I was trying to make a joke to throw it back at you, and you just messed me up.
I diffused the whole humor behind it. I'm sorry. I think I did.
I like Chris's comment here on YouTube. He says maybe CERN will open another dimension and swallow us up.
Hey, that's a theory. That's a conspiracy theory. A lot of people believe that that's what caused the Mandela effect to happen. You guys have heard of that? My mom is a full believer in the Mandela effect. She's like the walking manifestation of time slips and going in and out of different realities.
Just while she's sitting at the table.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I've seen it happen.
Sometimes I ask her if she remembers stuff. She'll be like, nope. And then I'll ask her months later, yeah, I remember. I'm like, you're driving me crazy. And, you know,
Research Society joined in.
What's up, Caesar? Welcome to the show.
Bill said ancient humans built portals and say the knowledge was lost.
That would be rad if that was true. I hope that's true. I hope there was just a civilization of super psychic, you know, like mages or whatever.
John Ward said, I believe spirits can absolutely travel through portals. I do think mirrors can be a way they achieve it somehow.
You know what? I'm very open to that. I've been in houses that I've been investigating in the past, and I've been in a room. And you ever been in a room that has, like, it seems like every bedroom has a mirror, like the closets have mirrors on them, or there's a mirror that kind of draws your attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't know if it's your mind doing that to you or not. You know, you constantly, I question those things less now, but, you know, I think that we should continue to please question them and challenge why we believe the things we believe.
Right.
There needs to be a balance. We need to ground ourselves as much as possible. I don't want our imaginations to, you know, to run amok in places where it could cause potential harm. And like at the beginning of the show, you know, if you're investigating someone's house, using the word portal, I would try to reserve a lot.
You used the word portal in my dining room.
Did I?
The first time you were here, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I didn't.
You said it's like a portal or a swirl of energy.
I said it was a swirl of energy. That's what I remember saying. I don't remember saying portal. I could have.
I thought
but
you said
I don't
the
think
word
so.
portal. Not sure.
You know, what I remember telling you is it felt like a rotating vortex of energy, and it made me feel dizzy.
Yeah.
And I also remember old people dancing. There was
Yes.
an old couple dancing.
Yes, I've seen them dancing while I was eating dinner.
You're sitting there eating your chicken, and you're just like, what's up?
Right? Kind of scary.
That's when you grab Casey and start dancing. Zarina says mirrors are portals. I don't like having mirrors in my house. That is a legitimate phobia that people have. I've heard many people say that.
There's another reason I don't like mirrors in my house, but we won't go there right now.
Zarina, if there's one thing you would need to learn about me, I challenge everything that I think and say and what I hear people say. And I don't mean it to be an ass or to be disruptive or anything, even though people would debate that. But I just want to, I want to talk about it. I want to iron things out. I want to, work through things to understand why we're believing these things and why are we drawing these conclusions. Is it from something solid? Are we getting solid evidence or anything at all to indicate such things? Because you have to fill in blanks when you're talking about the paranormal, because it's about the unknown. It's about the misty and the mysterious. So portals fit right in, rifts in space-time, rifts and dimensional rifts. It's all cool things that we'd like to talk about and theorize about. See who we got here. Hey, oldies want a chicky nuggy? What's chicky nuggy? Help me.
Baby Yoda.
Oh, okay. I'm not up with chicky nuggy. I gotta Google it.
You've got to keep up with your memes.
I'm sorry. I'm stuck in front of these computer monitors and not looking at chicky nuggy. Chicky nuggies. Know your meme. Okay, I'm gonna check chicky nuggy out. Chicky nuggy's kind of like this. Okay, I got it. I'm doing the chicky nuggy right now. I feel dumb. I feel chicky and nuggy. Thanks, Marilyn. Thank you. I try. This is me trying every day and every night, rather every Tuesday night on this show, and it's wonderful that people tune in and talk to me about these things and tell me what they think, and and force all this information out of them so it helps me and hopefully it helps you in return. Betty Kegley says, no mirrors, how would I see myself? Metal, shiny metal, shiny things. Zarina says, I just got a feeling with mirrors, not so much. I don't know if it's a belief, it's just a sensation, or the creepiness that I feel that I am makes me more aware of what might be there in them. When I remember specifically in Harrison, Ohio, at a residential case I was at. I know I've been at residential cases where the client has suggested things about the mirrors, but there was one case that I remember a couple years back that no one said anything about the mirrors in the house. The clients didn't say anything about the mirrors in the house, and I don't have a thing about mirrors. Like, I have mirrors in my house; they don't seem weird to me. It was just in these people's houses, and it was a motif in each bedroom. The closet doors were sliding doors, and they were mirrored, and then it was like a repeating theme in the house, and I just got something drew my attention to it, and it seemed anomalous. It didn't seem like I was trying to imagine where there could be gateways and portals. It just, those things I try to pay attention to, but I try to find more supporting evidence of. So, Zarina, you could be onto something, I could be onto something, or we could be just cray. I don't know. We'll find out eventually. Justin tries except on Fridays. Yeah, Bill needs to he needs to help me out a lot on Fridays, because by that time I'm like I'm nodding off and stuff. All right, let's see here. We have, well, Scotty, some people have said that they've shot Bigfoot, but either it doesn't do anything or the round isn't powerful enough. Super Bigfoot. They're just talking amongst themselves. Anybody, we got 5 minutes left to show. Does anybody have any other questions about portals? If they have any questions about the paranormal in general, or they would just like to tell me how stupid or how cool I am. Either one works. or how beautiful our chat moderators are, or anything at all. Jared says, people also blamed a lot of the activity at the Skyrocker Ranch on portals. There was a couple of researchers that claimed to see a portal and a creature walk out of it. Now, at that point, you're like, if I saw that, I would say portal for sure. Do you want to read Zarina's, Missy?
Yeah. She said at one client's house that we went to, we had to take a picture of of an antique mirror and edit, we counted at least 9 entities reflecting in it, and one almost like its hand was reaching out. And what it ended up happening is shit.
That for me, how we resolved that is I took it out of, and we broke and bought the mirror, and that's what I had felt how the best how to best protect the family and destroy that gateway. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So I'm going to assume that it worked. They said that it did work. I'm interested to see if the outcome was what you had hoped. Because that would be even more interesting to me.
Bill said you're cool. Gina said you all are awesome.
You see how I fished for compliments?
Yeah.
I'm so lame, but thank you. Tell me how cool I am on every hour on the hour. That's the echo chamber that we live in on Facebook, isn't it? And all the other social medias. We block out people calling us bad names, and we keep around the people that say we're great. And positivity breeds a happy place. Burnt. Okay. Yep. I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant. We burnt the mirror. I've never burnt a mirror. Can mirrors burn easily?
I don't know.
Yeah, disposing of a mirror is kind of tricky. Like, you can break it and shatter it up in a million pieces, and I know if you get it hot enough, it will eventually disintegrate.
Just have Bill blow it up.
That's Valerie is adding more content to the shows. She now thinks it's a good idea to blow up mirrors, haunted mirrors, sir. Can you make that happen? What else? What other things can we blow up on Fridays? Any suggestions? We're open to them. Yeah, Caesar, we talked about all kinds of things as you would expect we would. Justin, do you know the Chris Watts case? It does not ring a bell, but my computer might know.
Is that the one in Colorado where he murdered his family?
I don't know.
I might be totally off, but that name sounds familiar.
Killing his daughters? Watts family murders? Am I onto the right trail here? Go ahead,
He killed his wife, his unborn child, and his 2 little girls, if that's the same case.
The Watts family murders occurred on the early morning of August 13, 2018 in Frederick, Colorado. Is that where she asked? Colorado? Or she didn't mention that.
I think that's the one.
While being interviewed by police, Christopher Lee Watts, born May 6, 1985, admitted to killing his pregnant wife, Shannon Catherine Watts, born January 10th, by strangulation, according to Wikipedia. Wife, daughters, murders. So you were remembering right. So Betty, let me know if I'm reading the right stuff. Yes. Okay. I'm not familiar with that.
That
Do you
house
want me?
apparently is haunted with the spirits of the mother and the 2 little girls.
Is that right? Based on
well, for what I watched on YouTube anyway.
Okay. I would be interested in checking it out,
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I just came across it one day on YouTube, and horrific. It's terrible.
Betty says that the police experienced stuff kind of like the Gary, Indiana house, the demon house thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to check it out. Like I have time to, but I'm going to have to. I'll leave the tab up. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out.
Zarina asked, do you know about the Devil's Box, where they trap entities with the inverted mirrors?
I do know about it, yeah. I have heard about it. I've seen people use it. I have not used it, nor do I believe that it does that. but that doesn't mean that it does not do it.
Brent Burr said, I once broke 100 mirrors at once. I have a lot of bad luck coming my way.
I would say so. Maybe not a good idea if you're superstitious.
Sandy said, I heard about that, and they supposedly captured EVPs of the kids and wife in the household. It was the police that caught it, not investigators.
Right.
Yeah, the police on their body cams, I guess, they caught the apparitions and a lot of voices too.
I'm one of those guys that says just because it was police doesn't mean it's more credible. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, I can see how people would seem like it would be more credible, but they're just like us. Police can be corrupt and liars and interpret things wrongly just as much as we can. But I definitely want to see if there's anything online. I want to see it for myself. That's definitely interesting. So it's 9:00. I hope that we had a good discussion about portals. We tried to define them, redefine them, work through the definitions and the perceptions of what portals are. You know, who believes in them, who don't, why we believe in them. I hope that you've got something productive from the show. And thanks for your help, girls. It is awesome that I have you there to not only talk to, but to help me with the chat, because chat's coming in from all angles, right? All right, we're going to wrap it up. And I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. I say this every time, and I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I truly am very, very appreciative and lucky to have such a caring and supportive paranormal community of folks like yourself. You mean a lot to me, and I do not take anything that you give for granted, whether it be a like, a view, a share, donations. Everything that you guys do is what fuel my passion for not only the paranormal, but the content I put online and all the creative things and documentaries and stuff like that I do. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for, we'll go through here. Spirit Stalker donated $10. Thank you again for that. Dwayne Simpson followed. Oh, that was 5 days ago. I'm not getting my notifications right, but we'll go here. Here's the links. They're in the video descriptions. Please check us out, interfacedeath.net. Check out Justin Brown Paranormal Research on Facebook. Interface Death is also on Facebook if you want to check that out. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Patreon. It's a way to financially give support for the things we do and get rewards and access to exclusive content. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is completely free. Helps us out a lot. You can join us on Discord and talk to us directly and get all kinds of information and cool stuff. And you can do one small donation on PayPal with these links that I will put up right now. Let's see if it'll work. There you go. There's the links. And United Paranormal Society is a paranormal group on Facebook that we talk about all things paranormal. It could be aliens, it could be Bigfoot, it could be ghosts, it could be anything under that paranormal umbrella. Just send a join request and I'll accept it. And we even allow people and folks to share their paranormal work. And it's a lot of fun. You should do it. And last but not least, we have our Patreon supporters that we're going to shout out like we do every single time. Please extend your thanks to Clay Borman, Katie Turner, RJ Murphy, Scotty Fox, Casey Schreiner, Jessica Bias, Paranormal Reporter, Anthony Grothis, Heather Elliott, Joe Vitale, The Ghost Guild, Kelly McConkey, Tony Filosi, Betty Kegley, Tree Capsule, Shadow Seekers, Deadlight LLC, and Jen Raw 7. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And that's where I'm going to leave it there. You guys are awesome. You guys are great. No Necromancer this week. We have Interface Death Weekly on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern on the Interface Death Facebook page, and all the other platforms. It's the same time, same place. So I'll see you then. Hopefully. We love you. You are in our hearts. You guys have a good evening. Stick around for some video promotions if you have not seen them. And I bid you farewell. have that drive? That morbid curiosity to explore the darkness? Do you have what it takes to brave the night? You do? Good.
Dead light. For those who aren't afraid to see what lurks in the night.
Back off now. In God's name, back off.
You go back to your bathroom, you stay back there.
But I got you. Don't fucking touch me! Fuck! Okay. Leave me the fuck alone! Okay, sweetie. Okay. Open the door, get the door. Open the door, let's get her out of here.
Get the door.
God! Leave me alone! 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 Leave me alone!
Get out of here.
Out! I can't move my feet! I can't move my feet! In God's name, out of here now!
This is Jason Bland, host of Midwest Paranormal Presents Paranormal Soup, where we stream live as a webcast every Sunday night, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern, with guests who will blow your mind. Live ghost box sessions where you can call into the show to see if the spirits will talk to you, and the world wide web of weird with the latest in paranormal news and evidence. We're bringing the weird every Sunday night, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow and subscribe.
Hello, everyone. I'm the Goose.
And I'm Michael Bradley.
Is that what you're calling yourself tonight?
Heisenberg.
Not the Angry Kitty.
Max Braggins.
Anywho, we're the hosts of the Cryptic Paranormal Show.
On our show, we'll talk about all things paranormal except Bigfoot. He freaks me out.
Really, dude?
You know that, but I mean, I guess we could talk about him as long as I don't have to see him.
We will talk. As a matter of fact, we'll talk about all fields in the paranormal realm.
And every week, we will interview new guests, celebrities, and researchers in the field, and all our comrades in the paranormal underground.
And we aren't afraid to ask the hard questions no one else will. Our conversations are rooted in our own experiences as paranormal investigators.
So be prepared to have your minds, your opinions, and your beliefs challenged.
And let's not forget to warn them about all the tomfoolery and shenanigans. Let's just say, you might want to put the kiddos to bed before tuning in. They don't call us the paranormal shock jocks for nothing.
Do they call us that?
If they don't, they will.
So be sure to tune into the Cryptic Paranormal Show every Thursday night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on RU Media Network.
Spook you later, crypto heads.
Bye.
Shut up.
Welcome into the Abyss with your host, Sean Gilmore. Open your mind, both of your ears, and all three of your eyes to discuss all things supernatural with weekly special guests. We believe that we all learn from each other and we all have a lot to learn. What will you learn today? Here is your host, Sean Gilmore.